Welcome to Financial Funnies Daily, where the markets are serious but the news is comedy gold. No fluff, no fillers, saving you time you haven't got. So first up, if you've been under a rock, Ripple finally settled its never-ending fight with the SEC. They cut a check for $125 million, but here's the twist. The court ruled XRP is not a security when traded on exchanges. That's huge. For years, the SEC tried to treat Ripple like a crypto pyramid scheme, and now XRP gets the green light while the SEC gets a participation trophy. Expect more liquidity, potential ETFs, and other crypto like Ethereum and Solana pointing to this ruling saying, us too, right? The SEC tried to deep fry Ripple. Instead, they got it lightly toasted with a side of precedent. Meanwhile, in the UK, it's back to the 1970s. Inflation stuck at 3.8% and climbing. Gilts are yielding 5.6%, the highest since 1998. And the Chancellor Rachel Reeves is staring at a £50 billion budget black hole. Oh, while Brits struggle with groceries, UAE investors just spent £245 million scooping up London's mansions at decade-low prices. Gilts wobble, sterling weakens, and Britain's fiscal credibility is starting to smell like spoiled fish. Britain's economy is basically a clearance sale. Welcome to Kensington Costco. Townhouses, buy one, get one free. Across the pond, Jerome Powell showed up at Jackson Hole with a surprise. He scrapped average inflation targeting. Remember that? The Fed's promised to let inflation run hot for a while to average out. Yeah, turns out inflation sprinted past 9% and the Fed faced planted. Now it's back to a flat 2% target. Oh, and Powell teased a September rate cut. Traders cheered, equities bounced and bond rallied, but credibility about as firm as Jell-O in a sauna. The Fed's new model isn't math, it's improving jazz raise if it's hot, it's improved jazz. Raise if it's hot, cut if it's not. That's not monetary policy, that's Tinder. And speaking of government meddling, Trump just turned $8.9 billion in grants into a 10% ownership stake in Intel. Yep, America now owns part of the company that makes the world's most delayed chips. More politics in the boardroom, more chips in America. Let's just hope they actually work. Congrats, taxpayers. You're now co-owners of laggy laptops everywhere. Expect a free Pentium in your next IRS bill. Over in South Africa, they'll bring back the gold rush with their first mine in 15 years, aiming for 70,000 ounces a year. Nice boost locally, but global gold prices still dance to the Fed's tune. The old rush had picks and dynamite. The new rush, accountants with Excel and a sustainability report. Silver's also stealing the spotlight. HSBC just raised its 2025 forecast to $35 an ounce. Supply is tight and demand from solar and AI is through the roof. Expect volatility, but silver's in a bull run. Silver's not gold's poor cousin anymore. It's the edge cousin that shows up in leather and steals the show. In crypto, Chainlink's all grown up. It's earned ISO 27001 and SOC2 compliance, the same standards used by banks and Fortune 500s. The outlook, this could open the floodgates for institutional adoption. The crypto meme of cardigan-wearing compliance nerd. Next stop, HR-approved Oracle. Interpol had themselves a safari, arresting 1,209 cyber criminals across 18 African nations and seizing nearly $100 million. Huge win against fraud until scammers pivot to AI deepfakes. It's Pokemon Go, but the only thing evolving are scammers' mugshots. Speaking of evolution, Ripple isn't just in court, it's on the streets. The XRP MasterCard launches today. August the 25th, splashed on a giant NYC billboard. At the same time, Coinbase launched regulated XRP futures in the US. The outlook: XRP is slipping into payments and Wall Street trading. SEC can't stop the momentum now. The SEC locked the front door. Ripple built a side door with a neon sign. And even Swift, the dinosaur of payments, is testing Ripple's XRP ledger and Hedera HBAR for cross-border transfers. If adopted, it's revolutionary. But remember, they're testing the tech built to replace them. This is Blockbuster beta testing Netflix DVDs. Guess who doesn't make it to the credits? Over in Iraq, banks rejected US reform plans, fought their central banks, then ended up with US-approved amendments anyway. Reforms inched forward, but still under Washington's thumb. Karaoke finance, everyone's off key, but America's still hogging the mic. Zimbabwe's trying to rewrite its economy story. GDP is set to grow 6% in 2025. Thanks to agriculture and new global backed currency, the ZiG, holding steady at $26.75. They're even minting gold coins again. Signs of recovery, but debt and grain imports remain headwinds. The hyperinflation to money made in gold, where your currency's called ZiG, you better hold on to something shiny. Vietnam's going full tiger economy. GDP jumped 7.5% in the first half of the year, the fastest in 15 years. They're pouring $53 billion into the 250 projects and planning a $67 billion high-speed rail. Asia's next growth engine is reviving, but US-China trade tensions could slow down the ride. From rice bowls to AI hubs, Vietnam's speeding up. Just hope the train arrives before 2035. The EU's got its own juggling act. Business registrations rose 4.6%, bankruptcies up 1.7%. They've capped US-EU tariffs at 15%, planned €800 billion in defence spending, and rolled out new VAT reform. The outlook: entrepreneurial energy rising, but bankruptcies show fragility. Brussels flexes for strategic autonomy. Startups up, bankruptcies up. It's Europe's favourite pastime: reset and rebuild. Meanwhile, China's hosting the largest SCO summit ever in Tianjin. Over 20 heads of state, 10 organisations, and a 2035 strategy. De-dollarization chatter, Russia-China alignment, energy in local currencies, execution slow. It's like the G7 massive cousin: endless speeches, endless PDFs, and less wine. And finally, Japan's Meta Planet added another 103 Bitcoin, which is $12 million, bringing their stash to nearly 19,000 BTC, worth $2.2 billion. The outlook: MicroStrategy of Japan cements itself as Asia's corporate Bitcoin giant. Stock basically trades at BTC proxy now. MetaPlanet isn't a company anymore, it's a Bitcoin ETF in a tie. And that's a wrap for today's Financial Funnies Daily. Ripple's off the hook, Britain's wobbling, Powell's vibing, Intel's halved, nationalised, and Zimbabwe's literally coining it. Markets might be serious, but we'll keep turning them into punchlines. Leave a comment if you want more roasts like this, and for the latest juicy news reports, hacks and scams going on, catch me over on Patreon. But for now,
Bye bye.